Welcome to PWS United, a podcast for the Prader-Willi syndrome community, brought to you by PWSA USA. This podcast gives the latest news in research, advocacy, and family support by bringing together staff, volunteers, PWS treatment specialists, biotech and pharmaceutical representatives, caregivers, family members, and individuals with PWS. Our goal is to share education, awareness, and resources with those living with PWS and their supporters. Join us in our mission to enhance the quality of life and empower those affected by Prader-Willi syndrome.
I am Dorothea Lantz. I'm the Director of Community Engagement at PWSA USA and a proud mom to Hunter, who is 8 years old in this PWS community. In this episode, we are going to be sitting down with siblings of people living with PWS and explore what sibling advocacy looks like. That could be at the kitchen table or at the school, in the state house, in Congress, in clinic, just everyday moments that change how a community shows up. And today, I'm really excited to be joined by Christian Garzia. Christian is 15 years old, and his older brother, Rocco, is now 21 years old and living with PWS. Just a quick note for folks who might be listening. It is possible that this conversation may touch on sensitive topics like medical experiences or challenging behaviors, so just kind of take care while you're listening. And now we're just going to jump right in. Christian, can you just take a moment to introduce yourself to the audience? Give us a little bit of your background and your story, and then I'll start with some fun questions.
I'm Christian Garzia. I'm 14. I play football, rugby, and thinking about track this year. I don't really know. But I have an older brother, Rocco. He's 21 with PWS, and really funny guy. He has his own challenges. And then I got Michael. He's 15. Brags about how he's driving. Very hairy. Really good at sports, too. So that's who I am.
I think you're so much more than that, Christian, but thank you so much. Let's just jump right into it. Do you remember, what's your earliest memory of realizing that PWS was kind of a part of your family story? What did that look like?
I mean, there's two that happen in the same day. Is it okay if I go over both?
Of course.
So, in the morning of this day, before I went to school, I thought that PWS was kind of like bullcrap, and it was because of my mom feeding Rocco the wrong foods. So I refused to eat breakfast that morning. We get to school. On the drive back, my mom gets a call about Rocco being detained. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I want to try that. My mom's like, no, you really don't. And I'm like, I really do. I'm 5. So that's going on. My mom has to drop me off at home with Michael alone for like 10 minutes, I think. My mom goes and checks out the situation. Everything's fine. Rocco comes back home. Everything settles down, and we go to bed. I mean, that's pretty much it for that day. Well,
So,
earliest memory.
so you were 5 years old. That's your earliest memory of PWS in your house.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could describe your relationship with Rocco in a few words or a sentence, what would that look like and why?
I would say 2 words: chaotic and funny. Chaotic part, he's all over the place. He does whatever the heck he wants to do whenever he wants to do it. The funny part is that butt crap Christmas. I'll explain that. During Christmas Eve, or like Christmas, whenever we're picking up the Christmas presents and stuff, my mom's recording the videos because we're little. He wants to keep the memories. And I'm over there in the corner picking up my gifts. Rocco's trying to get up. Prime time view of his crack. It was so funny that we go back and visit that picture every single year. We make fun of Rocco for it, but it's not in a bad way because he's always asked to be treated normally. So we always make fun of Michael because he's super hairy. And then we always make fun of me because I had a lot of hair on my head. So I was always called the mop. Rocco was the crack. Michael, I would like to call Bigfoot.
I feel like you guys have a wrestling team, like a professional wrestling team names. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna forget Butt Crack Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, something I will always remember. I haven't told any of my friends of it, but I think I will. I mean, it's super funny.
I feel like they might hear about it now.
Yeah.
Oh god, my face hurts from laughing so hard. And listen, you know what? It's good that you have a lot of hair on your head. In like 20, 30 years, assuming you still have that hair, a lot of people are going to be jealous about that, especially your friends. So keep the hair. So let's talk about understanding PWS through a sibling's eyes. What do you wish people understood about PWS that they often don't, or they miss, or misinterpret?
Like the regular person you meet or like your friends?
Both, both.
Both. Okay. So regular people, I would say they think it's super sad. Like they think about this for every single disability, especially like autism and Down syndrome. They think it's terrible, super sad. They're always in pain, agonizing pain, like they're going through it, right? It's really not. They're really not. They're living the high life over there. So they do whatever they want, really. We let that be. And then for my friends, they also think the same thing. So then they think, man, I really don't want to annoy Christian or Michael because I don't think he can come to this party because of Rocco. And then I'm like, I see videos of the party. I was like, hey man, why didn't you invite me? He's like, oh, I was thinking about Rocco. You can't come to any stuff like that. Why even bother? I'm like, I can go. I can go. I'm fine. I'm old enough to be able to be responsible to do stuff like that.
So
Like,
do
Rocco does not get in the way.
so do you think that some of your friends are afraid to include you in stuff like parties and activities and like get-togethers
But
because
yeah, but
um,
all the friends that I got now, they understand that stuff. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
okay. But that's really interesting because I know that so many people with PWS, you know, that's it's part of the syndrome is kind of like isolation, and I never thought about the fact that it could be isolating for symptom for siblings too. It makes a lot of sense, and that's not okay. It's not okay. Let's talk a little bit about sibling advocacy. You have, for lack of a better term, you have stepped up to the plate, especially this last year. You were a superstar at our
Yeah.
national conference sibling program. I mean, like legendary. So you'll be doing that again. So when you hear about like sibling advocacy, what does that look like in your life? And what does it mean to you when people say, oh, you're a sibling advocate for PWS?
I mean, I could describe this in one word. It's protection. I feel like I'm protecting my older brother, that he doesn't have to worry about anything. Not like he already does, but physically and mentally, like he doesn't have to worry about not getting his medicine, having to worry about paying taxes when he's older. Like he's not doing that. Other stuff like that. I feel like I'm like protecting him, making sure he's not doing anything bad. So like there's a wide variety of people and like I feel like I'm happy because he knows those people and he doesn't have to worry about anything anymore.
So you view your role as his brother as part of like his protection in life. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. What about some of the advocacy work that you did when you joined us in DC? What did that feel like?
Oh, I was super nervous. This is my first time. I mean, I was like, whenever I was talking, I had to like flex every single muscle I ever had just to not to stop shaking. And I was overall happy because I said, "Hey, mom, let me do this. Bet I could do it good." I go do it. I'm super nervous. I'm like, "Mom, never take me back." Next year, I'm like, "Just bring me along. I'll tag along. I don't really care." And now I'm here talking about this. Still having the shaking problems. Don't have to worry about that as much, but still have it.
Well, you know what? I think that's totally normal. I think like if you start talking about you're sharing a part of yourself, right? So you're making yourself vulnerable. You're sharing things that are really personal to your life, that are shaping your personality, that are shaping you as a young man coming into his own. So I think it's okay to be nervous. And I think if you weren't, there might be something wrong. So I think it's good that you have some nerves. How have people responded when you talk about PWS and when you talk about your experience as a sibling? And when I say people responding, I mean like that could be friends or family, it could be people at school, it could be folks that you've talked to in DC when you've done stuff. Like how have like people responded to your explanation?
Well, people respond to my explanation very differently. So let's say I'm hanging out with my best friend. Like I know him, he's one of the real ones, right? He takes it seriously, like, oh man, I feel really sorry for you. Right. And then like, they talk about it like it's super depressing. I'm like, hey, dude, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me because I get to do whatever I want. I could skip school just to go to DC. That's so easy. And then what is it? Like if you have a friend that's like you don't really know him. You're trying to get to know him, right? Let's just say he's the fake friend. Like he's not the one that you really want to hang out with. You could tell him about it. He stops talking to you. And you're like, okay, well, this is great. Now I knew he was a bad one. I shouldn't have been hanging out with him in the first place. It's a plus.
So it gives you an opportunity to weed out the people that you're willing to spend your time with.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I love
And
that.
it also happens with inside the family. I mean, happened with my mom and dad. They found about Rocco. I think about half the family just stopped talking to us, which is great. You wanna know why? We didn't wanna talk to you in the first place if you're gonna be like that to us.
God, I love you. Like you hit the nail on the head. I can't wait for parents who are listening to this with their other kids to hear that because we talk about isolation and what it's like when you get a diagnosis. You figure out real fast who your real friends are. You figure out real fast the family that's going to be able to stick around and be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. So
Yeah.
I love that at your age, you've you've already figured that out. Like that's fantastic. That's awesome. On that same note, what do you do to draw your own boundaries so that you can protect your own time and so that you can have your privacy and like keep some state of good functional mental health? PWS is like all consuming for most families, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of takes over the entire. How do you protect who you are and make sure that you're able to grow and mature and learn in a way that PWS hasn't taken over your life?
Well, I mean, I mature very easily for me because of Michael. He's a great model for me. I mean, he helps out with a lot of things. But getting away from Rocco, like wanting privacy time so you just hang out by yourself, maybe even call your friends or something. Close your door. You gotta tell, hey Rocco, or whoever has BWS, hey Rock, you're not allowed in my room. I'm not allowed in yours. Super fair. We agreed upon that. He comes in my room anyways. So I just give him a little tap on the back, get out of my room. And he does. It works. So I mean, you're never gonna get full privacy because he is probably just gonna knock on your door and just walk in without even saying anything. Personally, my parents do the same thing. But you'll be fine. You could just tell him like, hey, this is my room. I don't go in yours. It's fair.
So you reinforce the verbal boundaries with a little bit of physical, get out of here. I told you you can't be in here.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I make it equally fair to him, which is honestly a win-win for me because I don't want to go in his room.
Yep, that makes sense.
It's
That makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, so what happens in this same in this same space, right? What happens if you've drawn the boundary, right? You've drawn it verbally, you've drawn it physically. Okay. What happens when there are those days where just a meltdown ensues? And how do you as a sibling get through the PWS meltdown? And are you able to do that with compassion? Are there times where you just can't deal with it? Like, what does that look like?
I mean, there's definitely times where I can't deal with it because I've had a long day myself. But usually, like when I was a little kid, I was all over the place. I was having a great time. But whenever he was pulling a tantrum, my parents didn't have to worry about handling it because I would pop in, "Hey, Rock, take your do the mindfulness I taught you. Go in your room and do the mindfulness." He'd start making karate chop noises and everything. 2 hours later, he's not even talking. He's knocked out. But now, I don't really do that anymore because it's a little weird. But Whenever he pulls a fit, I just tell A-Rock, "Go in your room. I really don't wanna listen to you right now." And I'll play on the games next to his room, like in the living room or something. So whenever he comes out, I'm like, "Hey, Rock, you want water or something? I'll give it to you and you can go back in your room." It works amazing. It works. You just tell him, "Hey, go in your room. We'll give you whatever you want." But sometimes he'll just keep screaming. There's nothing he can really do about those situations. He obviously did something to tick him off, or he did something to himself to tick him off.
So, I know that you've been getting involved lately, like the past couple years, and you've been like inching into it. Have you found a community within our community? Like, are you involved in any of the online stuff or the local groups or like gone to conferences or a camp? Like, are there other PWS siblings that you have created relationships with as a result of being a part of this community?
I know one. I
Okay.
completely forgot his name, though. I feel so bad about it. But he was the person I was on stage with.
That's
Oh,
okay. You don't have to remember his name. That's totally okay. But like, how did that
played
interaction make
Madden
you
a
feel?
lot. I
You
knew
what?
that.
You
He
what?
plays Madden.
He plays
Football.
Madden.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, but did that help? Did you feel like some sort of camaraderie because you're like, so there's somebody else here who kind of understands what this life is like as a sibling?
Yeah, I mean, I already knew from the first point that a lot of people knew about it. A lot of people have a brother with it, younger sister, whatever it is. I knew that from the get-go. I never really worried about being alone. I never really had that problem because, well, Michael, I'm not alone. He's there with me. My parents, my dad, my mom, my grandma, they're all a part of it. I never really personally myself worried about being alone because of my family. I knew I wasn't alone. At least I had 5, 6 people with me, right? But then, like, outside of it, I was like, "Holy crap." You didn't know there was somebody my age pretty much doing the same thing with an older brother pretty much the same age. I just wasn't expecting of that, so I was really happy about that.
So, like, you're not alone in your own family unit, but it was kind of cool to see other people around your age dealing with similar issues. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
When you think so Rocco's 21 now, right? He's legal age to drink. He's an adult. He's been an adult for oh gosh, do you wanna share a story?
Yeah. So, first day, 21, right? It's summer. He wants to go to a bar. We're like, "Hey, Rock, we'll go to the beach. We'll get you a." We go over there. He buys a drink with, like, the alcohol was in a pineapple. 5 minutes later, I have to drag him to the car. He didn't even get a quarter of the way done with his drink. He's not drunk. He's just like he's like his regular himself. He's like zoning out, looking at different parts of the world, looking at Saturn somehow. I don't know. He's doing it. So the quarter of the drink that he drank though, he chugged it. He was chugging it for like 10 seconds. And then we carry him to the car. He's like, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out. We get home, immediately play some PS5. You go straight to Madden. Like, what the hell? I thought you were drunk.
If things like alcohol and medicine affect people with PWS differently, it sounds like a crazy story, but it might not be that crazy. So let's talk about the fact that he's officially an adult. And, what is as you're thinking about, you're growing up, your brother's growing up, both of your brothers are growing up. So Rock, it's you, it's Michael, it's Rocco. As your parents are also getting older, what are your thoughts about what life's going to look like maybe in 10 years or 15 years for Rocco? And what do you if you've even thought about this, and it's okay if you haven't because you're young and you need to be young and enjoy being young and have a good time. Have
Taking
you
care of him as an adult?
Yeah, like what does that look like? Are you scared at all?
No, I think that'll be fine. We won't be doing anything. You know what? That's what I like doing. I don't like doing anything. If Michael wants to do something, go ahead and do it. He can live with me for a couple weeks. I don't care.
Okay. All
But
right.
10 years, I think it's going to be very peaceful.
You think 10 years is going to be peaceful. Okay. All right. So I think the moral of the story is you're not worried about 10 years down the road.
No,
And you
I'm
know what? I love that. I love that. Like the fact that you're 14, almost 15, and you feel secure in the family and you feel secure in Rocco's future is awesome. Like you're not worried about 10 years from now. And I think that if you would have asked people 20 years ago, there would have been a different response. So that is like the best
yeah,
thing that I think you could have said. You're not worried. All right, so let's do some rapid fire. Okay, so if there's one myth about PWS that you'd bust in a sentence, what is that?
myth that everything's sad.
Okay, perfect. One boundary that has changed your life for the better.
Healthy food,
One policy change that you'd make tomorrow if you could.
taxes. What, do you want to pay taxes?
Nobody wants to pay taxes, my friend. One moment of joy with your sibling that you'll never forget.
What, crack Christmas?
One word for what sibling advocacy means to you and the story behind it.
Protection, because I get to take care of Rocco. And like, I don't have to worry about him anymore.
Okay, that's awesome. Christian, thank you so much for making me laugh. You're awesome. You've been the highlight of my day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of PWS United. If you want to learn more about Prader-Willi syndrome and how PWSA USA is making strides in advocacy, family support, and research, visit www.pwsausa.org. And while you're there, we encourage you to sign up for our Pulse email newsletter to stay informed about the latest news, resources, and events. Don't forget to subscribe to the PWS United podcast so you never miss an episode. Our team is always available to support families and their loved ones living with PWS 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us at 941-312-0400 or email info@pwsausa.org. Catch a new episode next Tuesday, and until then, have a great week.